Hello everyone, Editor Sekhie here. I'm so glad to see that you all are enjoying our content. We did just hit the threshold for the new lowered YouTube memberships and channel membership stuff, so you might see an announcement about something about that coming sometime soon, maybe in Knickknack's upcoming streams or otherwise, but you know, thank you guys, and you know, we appreciate every single comment and every single subscriber. But on that note, we need to notify you of something coming up, right? So on July 8th, right, Saturday, we're going to be doing basically an all-day stream. And normally, I would just say, hey, we're streaming, VOD will be up later. But the VOD will not be up for this stream because during this stream, we're going to have several unique pieces of content. And we're also going to do 3 reacts live throughout the day. Those will not be available up as part of a VOD. After the stream ends, we will take it down and then they will be edited and released over the next couple of months. So, tune in on July 8th if you want to catch a couple of live Sekhie reacts, maybe interact with us as we're doing them. We'd love to hear from you guys, and we're really excited to do this. Also, you might get to see me opening up my Fate Grand Order account and playing a little bit. I don't know, I'm kind of terrible at it, and Knickknack's noticed, so maybe something will happen, maybe something won't. But yeah, so hopefully we'll see you all July 8th. I hope you enjoy this video.
Rejoice, everyone. We're back with another Sekhie Reacts to Fate. This week, the Gorgon sisters.
Which, I'm gonna be honest, this time I'm kinda freeballing it this week on the Gorgons. Much like I did for the T.H.E, because I feel like I know this myth pretty well enough that I don't really need...
Weird flex, but okay.
Well, considering I've got these to help me out... I think I'm doing okay.
So which version of the Medusa myth are we starting with?
We're gonna go with this one first, right? So this, we're gonna go with Perseus and the Medusa, right? Because I feel like let's start with the hero myth that involves Medusa the most, right? And then we'll go back to the creation of Medusa, right? And then we'll talk about Gorgons. I know that's a little bit odd ways up, but let's start with the most famous.
There's a lot of layers to this one.
Yeah, so, and I'm going to cover the fact that there's a couple different versions of this. So, the story of the Gorgon's head in the polished shield and Perseus and Medusa. Basically, Perseus, right, wanted to marry, well, Perseus came home, right? And then Danae, his mother, was the, like, King Polydectes wanted to marry Danae, his mother, right? And so Perseus, he basically sent Perseus on a quest. He was like, you need to go kill this monster or whatever, blah blah blah. So he goes and he gets help from Athena, which, what a fucking cunt.
When you have the full story here,
yeah, what a fucking cunt. So he goes and gets her assistance, and she gives him a shield of bronze, and Zeus gives him a sword. And in some versions, Hermes also gives him the, like, flying shoes, right? So he can travel faster. And so he goes to the Gorgon, Medusa, who's, like, on an island in the middle of fucking nowhere, just doing her thing, right? Being a sea monster, I don't know. And basically, he uses the shield to see her reflection and behead her without getting caught in her gaze, which turns men to stone. And then he takes her head, stuffs it in a bag, picks up his new wife, who we're not gonna, Andromeda, picks up his new wife Andromeda, and then they head back home where he's like, King Polydectes, I've brought you a wedding gift, unveils the Gorgon's head and turns the entire court into stone, right?
Whoops.
And then Athena's shield is like pressed with the head of the Gorgon. Right? So that, and that's supposedly in myths so that the sight of her shield strikes fear into her enemy and like stuns them for a second because it's in the likeness of the Gorgon Medusa. So this is the quintessential myth of Medusa, right? This is the most known myth of Medusa because heroes are really common and Perseus is such a big name hero. You know what I mean? So the thing is though, where did Medusa come from? Why is Athena a raging cunt? questions that we have answers
Funnily enough,
for.
Athena's like one of the better of the goddesses too.
I know. But, like, look what she did to Arachne, too.
Yeah.
Like, Anyways, so, fun fact. There are 2 or 3 different versions of how Medusa became a Gorgon, right? Because Gorgons are mythological creatures. Like Medusa was not born a Gorgon, theoretically. Medusa was a beautiful woman. She chose to be a virgin priestess of one of the temples of Athena. And there are 2 versions of this myth, and or at least 2 main versions, but I'm sure countless different versions. And essentially, the difference in the versions is the agency of Medusa in the story. So the one that you tell to children, the one that's commonly held and taught, is that Medusa had a wild and loving fling with Poseidon, right? In the temple of Artemis. And because she was a virgin, not the Artemis, Athena, and because she was a virgin of Athena, Athena was enraged by this and so cursed her to look like a Gorgon and turn men to stone with her eyes.
Yeah,
right?
if this were Artemis, she would have just had a hole in her head.
Yeah. And so that's the sanitized for kids version. Athena was rightfully wronged by this virgin who went on and had a love affair. However, there's another version. And the other version is that Medusa rejected the advances of Poseidon, and so he followed her back to the temple where her guard was let down and then raped her. And then Athena came upon the scene of her after being raped and didn't listen to her and turned her into a Gorgon and cast her out.
I don't know. Given the myth of Canis, this seems particularly in character for Poseidon.
And then Ariadne. I mean, consider, the last time Athena was challenged by someone, she turned them into a spider to spin webs forever if she's so good at it.
Athena was just as bad as the others. She just picked her targets more precisely and was much more vindictive about it than the others.
Yeah, and here's the thing. There are a lot of mythologists who kind of debate over which telling of the myth is older, which is perhaps more accurate, which is more common, and that sort of thing. And there's not generally a consensus. The thing about mythology, especially in a place like Greece, right? Because Greece was not a unified civilization. It was an agglomeration of city-states, all of which had different, patron gods and slightly different versions of some myths that kind of glorified their heroes. That's why we have, 40 different versions of the Argonauts, right? Because, certain places would want to glorify their own heroes and put them on the crew of the Argo, and different tellings from different places.
It's like if every city had a different patron DC superhero.
Yeah, so it's like DC. It's like DC. Let's be honest here. It's not like Marvel. It's like DC. Because at least in Marvel, there are groups. And so, I'm not going to come out right here and be like, my study is not primarily in mythology. I'm very into mythology. I've grown up being into mythology. I know a lot about mythology. But I'm not necessarily a scholar, so I can't come out and be like, it's this myth. No, it's the other version. But there's a lot of evidence for both, right? And one of the interesting things about the Greek gods is that the Greek gods were not looked to as paragons of virtue in Greece. The gods were not treated as if they could do no wrong. It's just that mortal judgment had no place in the life of the gods. So, Zeus, was whatever. He could be a cad and a womanizer and fuck everyone. And he wasn't a moral representation of Greek men. And he wasn't a moral person, but he wasn't a person. He was a god, and gods don't live by mortal standards. Even some of, the Stoic philosophers basically just said, leave the gods to be gods and do what gods do.
At the same time, I believe there was also some of our myth retellings come from someone who had a particular agenda against the old Roman gods when they were retold.
Yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of myths today are, here's the thing. A lot of myths were translated by people in... it's from antiquity onwards, myths were translated, especially from Greek and Roman, because we never really lost the ability to read Greek and Latin. There were just people specialized them and then didn't. Latin used to be a part of regular curriculum for educated men, so these myths didn't disappear, but translations vary with age and era. So, in the time of the Renaissance, when people were like glorifying Greek mythology and trying to model themselves after classical civilization, perhaps they wanted to make it more palatable or impose their own values upon it, and so they slightly change a myth here or there to kind of fit their own agendas, right?
Or maybe you hand a monk in a monastery, a Christian monastery, a Greek myth to translate.
Yeah, and then you get a very Christian myth. So like this is Medusa, right? And you know, you get the normal description of her. I mean, she's a hideous monster with snakes for hair. This isn't necessarily a super accurate depiction. This is actually a little like Medusa figure I got when I was like 11. I also have Athena over there, behind the headphone case. But yeah, this was just like a little shitty ass figure I got. I love them though. They're super fun. Really emphasizes the snakiness. And so that's kind of the big thing here. I mean,
even depictions of Medusa wildly vary.
Yeah, because she's described as being ugly, right? Like a horrid monster. But you know, that can change. Like, what do you define as like a hideous monster? I mean, do you give her fangs? Do you give her tusks? Do you give her like scaly skin? Does she have like yellowed eyes? Like, especially when you look like statuary and written descriptions would differ, because written descriptions you can get things like the coloring of things down, whereas statues will have largely lost their pigment over the centuries, and it would be very hard to tell. Like up here you can still see some pigment, right? And that's pretty impressive, but pigment's largely lost at a certain point. Here you have more of like my depiction of Medusa with the snake tail and everything, but she's not always depicted with the snake tail.
And then Medusa's also one of those like Greek monsters, like the Minotaur, that came into pop culture, and now you see Medusa reinterpreted in a lot of modern works as well. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not the Medusa.
Yeah, and one of the fun things about we're not going to get into Sigmund Freud's psychoanalysis of Medusa, no. But one of the fun things about Medusa is that she is technically part of a trio, called the Gorgons. So there are 3 named Gorgons. The other 2 are Stheno and Uriale, or Uriale, depending on your translation. Uriale. This is Uriale, okay. And this is Stheno, which... fucking Vorn can never pronounce this, and I get it because STH is not like the most easy of Stheno, but he'll just be like Stheno, and I'm like So back to Gorgons, right? And I think something interesting about that is Medusa doesn't necessarily fit Gorgon, right? Because Gorgon is something different altogether. Like, the Gorgons were the children of Phorcys and Ceto, right? Ceto, whatever. And the Gorgons were separate. Like, they were monsters on their own right, you know? Like, the Gorgons were monsters of, like, dreadful terror, and, you know, they were ugly, and they kind of... they took on this appearance, right? And they're kind of talked about in a lot of different stories. Serpentine hair, wide mouths, tusks, like... I mean, you look right there. There's literally the depiction of Medusa on screen, right?
But also, aren't there some variations that kind of conflate that, though, where they are where they are the children of I'm not pronouncing their names right now.
Phorcys and Ceto?
Yeah.
Well, that's who they are the children of. Phorcys and Ceto, right?
Yeah.
Ceto was a primordial sea goddess in Greek mythology, and Phorcys was a primordial sea god, right? Son of Pontus and Gaia. Ceto was the daughter of Pontus and Gaia. So they're siblings as well.
Yeah.
Right? And then they... Stheno and Uriale were born immortal. Medusa was not. So, like... Some myths have all 3 of them born to the same parents, and then because Medusa was born a mortal female, she was later transformed into an immortal Gorgon, right, by the curse. And then there are some versions where there's just 3 Gorgons who kind of appear separately. It really depends on who you're talking to, right? Like in Roman mythology, they tell of the rape by the sea god Neptune in the temple of Athena, right? So, you know, you got that thing. Like, for example, after Medusa was beheaded, they tried to kill Perseus, but because of Hades' cap, the Helm of Invisibility, they weren't able to. So we don't know much about Stheno, right? Other than the fact that she was another Gorgon, but she was born a Gorgon, right? Like, she has always been this way. And let's be honest, like, there's a lot of trios in Greek mythology. I mean, look at the Graike, right? Like, they're literally their siblings. There's another trio, you know? Also, Scylla. We know Scylla. And then you have Euryale, right? Euryale was the second sister. Once again, daughter of Phorcys and Cato, right? And she was immortal, right? So there's not much we know about Stheno and Euryale from ancient sources. They're mostly mentioned in relation to the death of Medusa. And for some reason, Medusa seems to have been the most primary of the three, and I think that's just because her myth was connected to so many other things, you know?
Well, Euryale seems to have just a tiny bit more in some variants of the Orion myth, according to Wikipedia here.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you know about that.
Yeah, a little, but I mean, it's still not...
Not a ton.
Yeah.
We're still looking at not even a third, like only about a third of a page on the internet.
I mean, like, because I covered the fact that we, like, didn't know who Orion's parents really were.
Yeah.
Like, in this version, yeah.
That said, man, that's a bit of an awful combo of parents right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't help but, like, feel bad for, like, you know, all three of them, because they really got the short end of the stick, because it doesn't seem like Stheno or Euryale ever really did anything bad.
They were just transformed. They were guilty by association.
Yeah, Stheno and Euryale were guilty by association, and even Medusa, it depends on which myth you're taking, right? Like, here's the thing, let's see, it might be that most of the earlier versions speak of consensual sex, right? But earlier version, for a given value of earlier version, not all ancient works will survive until modern day. And obviously, if she was depicted as a beautiful woman and then wasn't, something went wrong. And to be quite frank, like, I could see the Greeks I could even see early Greeks not having called it rape simply because you can't judge a god by mortal standards. So Poseidon wouldn't have been judged like that. So it would have been seen as just sex, you know? Because you can't judge a god like that. You're not supposed to, according to the way that, like, the Greek mythology goes. You don't have to forgive him for what he does, but he cannot be judged to mortal standards, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a shit place to be, I'm gonna be honest.
Greece wasn't exactly known for its women's rights.
No, except in Sparta. Leonidas, my boy.
Well, part of that was by the association of the men having no rights.
Yeah. Yeah. But Medusa, like, this has been depicted everywhere. I mean, I've actually seen this statue. I've been and I've seen this statue, and it is stunningly well done. I will say, someone recently did... Here it is. I saw this on exhibition. No, not this one. No. Okay, so it's not... Let me get a picture of this, because this statue is really interesting, because I've seen this. But you know that one I just showed you about Perseus holding the head of Medusa? Mm-hmm. So an artist in 2008 made his own version of this sculpture. And it's Medusa holding the head of Perseus. Yeah. And I remember when this came out because it set the world ablaze, and people were like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? And I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, what a cool way to, like, do your own take on, like, an older sculpture, you know?
Being fair in the grand, like, lineage of people that fucked up Medusa's life, Perseus, despite killing her, ironically wasn't one of them.
Yeah, no, he really did very little to her. But I wanted to mention this particular statue because I just think it's a fun one, you know?
Like, personally, I support the AU where Medusa goes god of war and goes and kills Poseidon in Athena.
Yeah, really, to be honest, it's mostly Athena's fault. Like, There's
no variations of the story where Athena is in the right here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to.
The correct godly thing to do is just smite them or kill them where they stand. Don't
Don't curse them forever.
Because now they're going to be a nuisance to everyone else.
Exactly. I'm just going to put these away.
Okay.
So that we don't have to sit with them kind of stacking up in front of us. I'll keep these two. Just to put my hands on. So you have a lot to show me about Medusa and Fate.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, everybody. I've seen Fate Stay Night. I've seen Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. I've seen the first half of Babylonia. I know that Stheno and Euryale are separate servants. So, that's where we're starting. Also, I know that Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Medusa is a Rider class servant, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I do know that, and I know what she looks like in those two anime.
We're not actually going to start with Stay Night Medusa.
I didn't think you would, but I figured I'd just clear up with the audience where I stand.
So
I see that the first thing you have up there is a Stheno.
Obviously, the actual existence of a Stheno and Euryale servant means Fate has to go into a little bit more detail on what's going on with them here.
Yeah.
So before I get into
because they're not, I know that they're not Suds, right? They're not Sudos.
No.
Like these, because they're monsters, not. I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't do a Gorgon as a beast of
Calamity.
Yeah.
I could see it, maybe, but there's some Beast of Calamity stuff going on there. We'll get into that eventually with another servant. Like, what can disqualify you that's surprising about a Beast of Calamity?
Oh, okay. All right. So, lead the way.
So, we're going to start here with Stheno. What do you think? Can you even take a guess at what Stheno's class would be?
Oh, Vorn has her.
But you've seen, you do have
Vorn
her.
has her. She's a caster, right?
No.
Oh, she's assassin?
Yeah.
Assassin. It had to be assassin or caster. Vorn really likes his casters and assassins.
So, I don't have a... There we go.
Yeah.
This is Stheno here.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and click in here, because this is not Fate Grand Orders. We're not going to see this art in a minute.
Cute.
You go to the Grand Order art here, though.
Yeah, okay. Oh, this is why Vorn likes her. This is a very Vorn servant. I think she looks pretty. It's a cool design, I guess, but I will say I am a bit let down. Where are the snakes for hair? Where are the tusks? It wasn't was it this is Stheno, right? Was it Stheno?
Stheno was also made into a Gorgon in mythology.
Well, no, but I know that, like... Oh, okay, right. Euryale is the one who they say had, like, red vipers or whatever. But I am a little disappointed that we don't have, like, ponytails made of snakes or something.
I am glad you started me off with that.
Oh, boy.
So...
Oh, boy. I've opened
obviously here, the Gorgons... With so many different variations, Fate has to take a stance. It's going to have to carve out some of its own mythology here for Stheno and Euryale, because there's nothing fucking there.
Yeah.
So if it's going to
other than the fact that, we have parents and a sister and, vengeful actions.
Yeah. So, I'll reveal more about the Gorgon story in Fate as we go on, just as we get to relevant servants for this.
Mm-hmm.
But for now... Fate does hold to the Stheno and Euryale were immortals. In fact, it says that the Gorgon sisters, or at least Stheno and Euryale, because they were born of primordial gods, they are technically minor goddesses in Greece.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about what it would make them.
So,
I mean, they're just as much gods as Phobos and Demios or Cupid, to be quite honest.
So that's why you have a bit of a younger appearance here, because they're immortal. They just didn't age.
Okay, but why no baby snakes then?
Well, we'll get there.
Just disappointed.
So, as minor goddesses, they were mostly meant to be just revered. They're meant to inspire heroes within their area.
Mm-hmm.
But because of their general build and their being women and being very small children, they were often taken advantage of and abused by the men in the area.
Okay.
Until Medusa took it upon herself to be the big sister, like, step in the way of a lot of that. Because she did grow.
Ironic, since she's the youngest, I think, of the three.
Yeah, but she's also the mortal.
She is, yeah.
The result of this, though, is that at least the two older sisters here, Stheno and Euryale, they despise men in general.
Yep.
And, you know, nothing about the Medusa legends ever really going to change that.
No.
So...
No, quite frankly not.
In their capacity as minor goddesses, what they would often do is they would fuck with the men a little. Stheno specifically would mislead them, send them off to ruin.
Good for her.
So...
I'm here for this.
As far as why they're so like, you would think goddesses pseudo.
Yeah.
As goddesses, they are so minor and so weak that, well, not only are they not powered down by being summoned as a servant, they're powered up.
Okay.
So they are just... This is why Medusa needed to protect them, because they are weak as fuck.
Okay. It's a fucked up layout.
Yeah, that's one of the early, like, servant problems, I think.
Oh. Okay. I'm just sad we didn't get Snakey. Alright, so we've got some relationships. Okay, let's see. Uriale, you are very beautiful today, as always, really. Even more so than yesterday. T.H.E. Maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe. Okay, Medusa. Medusa, come over here. Don't make me say it again. Medusa. Alright. Perfect example of laziness. Medusa child. My little Medusa. Don't be so scared. Nobody is here to tease you. Come now. Show me more of that face of yours. Gorgon. The fact that your true name is Gorgon isn't your fault. Not my problem. You are Medusa. Rather, you are also Medusa. Isn't that right? Nothing from Asterios. Asterios and Uriale. Bad Asterios. Stop it. Don't try to hoist me up on your shoulders. I'm not Uriale. Huh? You know? Sometimes you want to be with Stheno? You're such a softie at heart. That's cute. Heracles, I guess when we talk about what a real hero or valorous sort is, he's bound to come up. It's a shame he's lost his sense of reason. Okay. Lord Odysseus, I wonder what would have happened to us if he had wandered onto our island. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Yeah. Sister servants. I see. So you're sister servants too? A pleasure to meet you. I don't know what that means.
It just means any servant that's a sister to someone else.
So Valkyries?
Yes, I believe they would qualify.
Or the Dioscuri?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, let me go down here. We'll just give you a quick look at the abilities here. It's a little bit...
Okay. Yeah, no, I can read through this. So, immortality and eternal youth, that makes sense. She's got the personal skill of alluring euphony, which allows her to charm others with her voice. Presence, concealment, and magic resistance as an assassin. Blood-sucking allows for the recovery of one's own magical energy. Recovers the best with Medusa's blood, okay. So she's got the whim of a goddess skill. Divine core of the goddess, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. So one thing about the Gorgon sisters, they do display a level of vampiricism.
Okay.
Another thing that you didn't read here about her, though, is that one of the way she primarily fights is she primarily summons nameless Greek heroic spirits.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
You don't actually see that in the FGO animations, though, because update, please.
Okay.
So yeah, that is Stheno. Not a lot to her. She's kind of part of a trilogy.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So
okay.
We'll go ahead and move on here to her NP. Actually, this is the smile of Stheno. Stheno can bring men under her thrall with a simple, insincere smile. It's extremely hard to resist for most, if not all, men. Stheno can do this and is irritated if it doesn't work, but doesn't actually seem to hold any lasting care about it.
Okay.
These are just all of our animations, so I'll probably cycle through a few of these here.
Yeah.
Oh, they do show them in the animation. I haven't seen them in the update.
Seems like super fit for a Valentine's servant. Also, don't think I don't notice how she's fighting.
Oh yeah, you see Lo.
Don't no, I notice. I mean, I know she just seems like she'd fit well for a Valentine's Day servant, even though this isn't a Valentine's Day form specifically. You know?
Yeah, no, it's not Valentine's. There's no Valentine's forums, really.
Yeah.
But it's funny you should mention Valentine's Day, because I think it's time to move on to the next one. We'll be moving on to your Galway.
Mind if I close this?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Cool.
So your Galway looks mostly the same as Thenno.
Okay. Should I come over here?
Yeah, why don't you?
Oh, exactly the same. Okay.
Your Galway here is an archer, though.
Oh, there's the difference.
Now, do you recognize that bow?
Yes, Cupid's bow. Yeah, that bitch is Cupid's bow. That bitch is floating in the air. So there are slight differences. In costume.
It's a hilarious game to play with longtime fans, to just have them on the screen but not show who they are and see if you can recognize which one it is.
Who's that? Pokemon! It's Pikachu! Fuck!
Well, it's more like mistaking Zack for Cody and Cody for Zack.
Yeah. I could see where you'd struggle a little bit.
It helps, though, that if you go to your Galway, she has a costume. Not that the costume changes all that much.
I'm on. Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't. That does nothing. I didn't even realize that was a costume. I thought it was just another form, I'm gonna be honest. They're okay.
It's more frilly.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, no, it's a little more frilly. Okay. Oh, okay. I can see the differences. Yeah. Minutely. I'm going to close these if you don't mind.
Yeah, go
just
right
to
ahead.
clear off some space.
Leave that one open.
Because we need it.
Yeah. So your Galway here, moving on with the story a bit, we should get on to when the sisters were cursed, only Medusa was actually cursed. The other two remain the same, but Medusa could no longer protect them from men in human society because,
yeah,
snake hair, monstrous appearances. So the trio fled to the island and spread rumors that Uro and Steno were also cursed to avoid having them viewed as, prizes.
Okay, so they're going with not all snake-headed demons.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, fate just going for the easiest of all routes. They could have made a hot snake lady.
I mean, we're gonna get there.
They could have made a hot snake lady.
So, since the two never became monsters, they remained not monsters when summoned.
Yeah.
And yeah, Steno and Uro are mostly the same design. Steno seems a little bit crueler, but Uro holds about the same view of men. Uro seems a little bit more genuine, liking the attention of men, but more in the spoiled sort of they get me the stuff I want sort of way.
Yeah.
The sole, and I mean sole exception for men she's a little bit more genuine with is Asterios. Namely because of the Okeanos singularity and their sort of friendship there.
Okay. Yes, kitten? Oh, dear.
Demanding right now.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got relationships here. So,
Yep.
Steno. Hey, Steno, you're cute as ever. I could look at you all day. Medusa Rider. Why, if it isn't Medusa, you've gotten even bigger since I last saw you. What are you, some kind of weed? I suggest you stop around level 60. Ooh, I found the rare form of Medusa. I've decided to play with you to amuse myself. Is there anywhere you want to go? Gorgon, what are you talking about? That's obviously Medusa. Did you suddenly develop the nerve to talk back to me, Medusa? Don't look away. Look at me when I'm speaking to you, Medusa. Come on, Asterios, let's head to the rec room. That's right, to Tomoe's den. Oh, don't get so excited. I had no idea you liked video games that much. Eh? You're just excited to be doing something with me? Oh, you dummy. Cersei, Kaikeon? No thanks, I only eat fruit. Kaikeon's interesting. So Kaikeon is a specific beverage that was pretty well known in Greek and Greek mythology especially. It's mentioned specifically in relation to Demeter a lot of the time. There's the Homeric hymn to Demeter mentions a story of Kaikeon that's very, very old. Odysseus. So you've shown yourself, Odysseus? Oh no, it's nothing. It's just that every story I've heard about you has been about how you would conquer goddesses or monster ladies and then just leave. Rude.
Bastard.
Canis. You're Canis, right? Long time no see. So you're not Canius? Don't give me that look. After all, you're, sister servants. You have a sister too. Fine then. As a special treat, I'll be your friend. You should be happy about that.
Rhinus would probably qualify in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna skip through. Oh, Chaos.
So yes, she is wielding Cupid's bow.
Okay.
That is the same exact fucking bow.
Yeah, so she's a perfected goddess. Alright. Let's see. Born as an idol. Divine essence remains the same. Forever young and immortal. Okay. Personal skills are alluring euphony. Blood-sucking. Divine core of the goddess. Whim of the goddess. So there's like a lot of the same skills, just,
yeah.
You know.
We continue the pattern of them being mostly the same.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So her NP here is called Eye of the Eurale.
Okay.
As an archer, Eurale combines the bow with her eye's ability to bewitch the target, and then, you know, while they're bewitched, just kind of injure them a little bit.
Yep.
It's not, unlike Steno, her eye thing isn't really a means of control. It's just, you know, get the target to stand back and make them feel pain while having them do minimal fighting back.
Impressive.
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, so we're moving on to Medusa now?
Yep.
Which Medusa are we starting with?
We are starting with the one you're familiar with.
Right.
We'll move on to the newer ones, or the ones you're a little bit less familiar with as we go.
Okay. So yeah, this is the Rider Medusa I know and love.
Yeah, we actually have a lot of artwork here just because this is Medusa is one of those early Fates runs, so we'll go ahead and look at that too.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I like Medusa's design. It's cute. I mean, cute isn't maybe the right word for it.
Yeah, I forgot she had a glasses costume.
Yep.
So if you go back to the Type Moon page, click into some of the artwork here. If you just scroll to the side, you'll see some of her alternate costumes and outfits.
Ah, swimsuit. Okay.
That's her as a young... That'd be her at the age of Eurale and Steno.
Yeah, there's her weapons.
Just different art styles here.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. You know I love me a good bunny suit, you know? Even this looks really cool.
Very cyber-y.
Yeah, cyberpunk-esque. Yeah. Okay.
So, this is somewhat of an amalgamation of the entire Medusa legend. Mm-hmm. She's notable for once again not possessing the Gorgon appearance.
Yep.
Because she's taking on the more human form prior to the transformation.
Yeah.
I imagine because we know exactly how impractical her Gorgon appearance would be in an actual grill war. That's kind of why you see her like this in Fate's Day Night. Mm-hmm. But
that's a very PG telling.
Yeah.
Athena jealous of their beautiful hair. That's PG.
Don't worry, we'll get back to Poseidon being kind of an asshole in Fate again when we get to Canis.
Yeah.
That one's going to be a little bit more explicit.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Pegasus was born from her blood.
Yep.
I remember that, and I had just completely forgotten to mention it. Gorgon's blood's actually mentioned several times. It's also used as a poison in one myth. Yeah.
So, the relationship between the three sisters, you probably saw a little bit of it. The two sisters would always tease Medusa to no end, mm-hmm. And play tricks on her due to her, you know, growing big and curvy.
Yeah.
They didn't dislike her, and she doesn't dislike them, but they were undoubtedly very nasty to her. Mm-hmm. Medusa mostly lets this slide, though she is shown to have ended up with somewhat of a bigger sister sort of personality due to that. Mm-hmm. Sort of the two younger ones being extraordinarily childish.
Sorry, I found more art, so I'm just gonna scroll through some of that.
But that teasing has also led to her being very self-conscious.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can keep talking. I'm just scrolling through more art.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. Aww. Yes! Chun-Li! I'm a fan.
Extella's got some fun costumes. That's just some fucking Urza armor right there.
Yeah, it really is. Oh. Oh, I think these are Cs.
Yeah, you're starting to get into Cs.
Okay. I was just flipping through.
No?
Yeah.
You're good. So, as far as the abilities she possesses, she does have some of the ones from when she became the Gorgon. For example, Fate, her stone eyes. Fate indicates that the petrifying eyes were actually probably naturally hers to begin with. With the entire Mystic Eyes thing with Fate.
Yeah.
But the entire Gorgon ordeal thing kind of led to her losing control over them. You see that, like, Rhinus and Case Files doesn't have full control over hers.
Yeah.
You've seen her with the pair of glasses a few times. Those are Mystic Eye Killers. You'll remember those from Tsukuhime.
Yeah. I do appreciate this here mobile woman Miss Medusa, Mecha Lady, and voluptuous bunny suit. And then these costumes.
All the DLC costume names.
Yeah. Man, I want to see all of them now.
The funny thing is, they were made by the exact same person, which is that woman that needed money in Garden of Sinners.
Oh, interesting.
I'm
a fan.
So, normally, though, she can wear one of her noble phantasms to sort of accomplish the same thing, though.
Okay. So I've got some relationships up, so Medea. Looks like you've also have a contract with Medea. I'm not connected to her by fate, but we don't really get along. Though she's kind of dark like me. Her strangely positive side messes with my perception. Okay. Steno and Uriale. Ha. Sorry, I didn't mean for you to see me sigh. It's not because I'm displeased with you, Master. I'm just tired of running errands for my sisters. Okay. And then some interesting commentary about Perseus.
Yeah, so she doesn't actually dislike Perseus for killing her.
Yeah.
She dislikes him for, parading her head around and then putting it on the shield.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay, skip past her in Fate. There's a lot of her in Fate. I know, she's very common in Fate. Okay, skills. Well, I mean, her weapon. She's got this dagger thing with a chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that used to great success.
Causing an arm wound so bad it caused a limp.
So she's got magic resistance. That makes sense. Riding. Yep. I knew she was going to have riding. She's a rider.
I would hope.
Independent action. There's her mystic eyes. I am not reading all... Jesus Christ. Nah. Monstrous strength.
So monstrous strength here is going to be very interesting because if she uses it enough, she just becomes the Gorgon.
Okay.
Like, that's how you get her Gorgon form. She just, never does that in Fate Stay Night. Because, well, right now she hasn't been alive long enough to do it.
Mm-hmm. There's divinity. And then her noble phantasms, of which she has 3. I know about Bellerophon. Bellerophon. Because I've seen the boys use it.
Yeah, so Bellerophon isn't actually the Pegasus. The Pegasus is the Pegasus.
No. But Bellerophon is something different.
It's the reins that she uses to control the Pegasus. In theory, she can use that to control a lot of phantasmal species.
What about dragons?
I would have to check. Writing does make a lot of distinctions with dragons, but I'm pretty sure she might be able to.
Okay, it doesn't say, but
yeah,
I'd be curious. So that's the control of a mount.
Yeah.
She's got 2 other noble phantasms.
So the
Breaker Gorgon and Bloodfort Andromeda?
Yeah, the Bloodfort Andromeda you've seen in Fate Stay Night and Unlimited Blade Works before. It's that giant bounded field that causes people's skin to melt off their bodies as she dissolves them.
Yeah. I think I remember now something. Yeah. So blood taken from the right side of a Gorgon could bring the dead back to life, right? Blood taken from the left side was a fatal poison.
I wonder if that's where they're drawing inspiration on this from.
Yeah.
So, one thing you don't see in Fate Stay Night that I will note here is that...
Fuck Athena. She also killed Asclepius by giving him a vial of Gorgon's blood.
Yep.
This bitch.
Which inadvertently led to Orion not being able to come back.
Exactly. Fuck Athena. Jesus Christ, like, sure, Artemis was a fucking bitch. Sure, like, Aphrodite was fucking stupid.
I know, Artemis really only has, like, one or two
That's
stories
true.
that are, like, were particularly bad about her.
Actaeon and Orion.
True.
Yeah. Aphrodite more so, but, like,
But depending on the
Jesus
telling, Orion
Christ,
is more of
Athena.
Apollo's fault.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, Athena. You should not be up there with them.
But Blood for Andromeda can be used, like, you only see it in Fate Stay Night used across the school.
Mm-hmm.
She could probably open this up across the entire city if she wanted to.
Yeah. Okay.
The one Noble Phantasm you really haven't seen
Breaker
much
Gorgon?
of its practical use here is Breaker Gorgon. That's the blindfold that Medusa wears.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a bounded field. It's more like a self-contained version of the Blood for Andromeda. It allows Medusa to first seal her mystic eyes, but the other more offensive use for it is she can draw people into her like she could draw her consciousness into her mind, and she can use that to A, manipulate what they see, and B, she can use it to distract them while she drains their mana through various means, depending on whether or not you're reading the R version of the visual novel or the PG version of the visual novel.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
So, you're welcome to look at this if you like.
Just,
Some extra concept art.
interesting.
That concept art makes her look a little bit like Sekhie.
A little bit, yeah. Just a little bit. In this.
Yeah.
But you see down here, you've got the start of...
The more...
Yeah.
So, you see here...
Oh, Rider was Perseus, not Medusa in the original.
Yeah, in Fate Prototype, which is funny, because Perseus then got switched... Oh, no, it was originally... So, it's hilarious. I believe it was originally Theseus. And then in Prototype, when they rewrote it, they switched it out for Perseus as the one that happens later. It's weird.
Okay. Alright.
So, yeah, if you want to switch over to the NPs here, we have a bunch of variations on this.
I see a coup there.
Yep.
I see my coup.
You kind of have all three of the classic, like, extra enemy servants from Fate Stay Night there with him. Okay, we're gonna see that NP here.
Alright.
A little bit of an older NP.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the fighting game, Fate Unlimited Codes.
Yep.
Just give it a minute. I did pick a round where she actually uses certain NP here.
The heal.
Yeah, that was the NP.
Disappointing.
Don't worry, we're gonna get a little bit better.
Okay.
So here we have Fate Extella.
Okay. Do I need to mute it?
Not this one.
Okay.
The next one we probably need to mute, or at least
Okay.
be right back on.
Alright, mute it. Ooh.
Came out though.
Okay.
This we're fine. This is arcade.
Okay. What's that? Something fell.
Oh.
Ah. Cats.
このような女でよければ
This is why I'm sick.
どうぞご自由に扱ってください
Man, those boobs are really sitting high. That hurt.
Yes.
He's gonna beat the shit out of him.
優しく蹴散らしてあげましょ
I mean, 1v1, Hurt wins.
In most scenarios, yes.
Maybe Gil?
Maybe Gil.
Yeah.
And even then, Hurt came real close.
Real fucking close. Okay.
So, go ahead and move on to our next thing here, because we have a few odd ones here before I continue with the story here. Because it's a classic Fate Servant, we have the card install versions.
Okay.
And then we have the Corrupted Hero.
Oh, that's some cool art. Love that. Snakey.
So yeah, I've explained the class and the card installs before. There's not
Yeah.
much to go with here.
Yeah. It's still cool.
Yeah. So that's about the closest you're going to get to a Berserker Gorgon. They did that by using Medusa's Rider card with a Berserker card.
Okay.
But we don't know much about that.
Alright. Want me to close out of this then?
Yep. This you have seen before.
I have seen Medusa Alter.
Yeah, this is exclusive to the Fate Grand Order First Order movie.
Yeah.
I'll go over some of the things here just because we have a few notes, and it lets me skip some stuff later. Medusa Alter here's
A fucking psychopath. She kills everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
Including her own master.
Yup. But she wields a scythe, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So here she actually can turn her hair into snakes.
See, I want to see that.
Well, you did in the movie.
I know, but I want more. You know what I... See, there they are.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then, so her scythe there is called Harp. The sword that was used to kill Medusa, but in Fate it's only kind of cosmically a sword in the same way Ea is cosmically a sword, but in reality is more of a glorified laser pointer.
Yeah.
It's in the shape of a scythe and possesses an anti-divine property.
Okay.
So you don't really get to see that used much, but if you were to take that to, I don't know, the Dioscuri's face, it would do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Go ahead and move on here.
2.
Medusa Child.
Oh. Cute. Oh, look at her. She looks so tired and done in.
If you want, you can shift over to the FGO wiki to see the sprites.
Yeah. Cute. This is like every 13-year-old girl's dream on an MMO server.
Murder Lolly?
Yeah.
With a bit of an emo thing going?
Yeah, and a scythe. It's always the scythe, fam. It's always the scythe.
So, here we have Medusa closer to Euryale and Steno's age again, except this time fully summonable as a Lancer servant.
Oh, okay, so this is the Lancer.
She was only summonable due to the events of the Babylonia Singularity, and she also goes by the name Anna, which was a pseudonym she went by at the time. This is what happens when you summon Medusa from the Gorgon phase of her life and just kind of yeet out all the humanity forcibly.
Yeah.
Medusa Child is the human half of that equation.
Oh.
So she retains her memories and therefore a sense of guilt for her actions as a monster, but she also is an actual child, unlike her sisters, so she has a sense of innocence and naivety to her. She's pretty compassionate, unlike her sisters, and while she tries to put on more of a serious, get things done attitude, she has a really hard time actually maintaining that persona.
Okay. I see she's got some of the same things her sisters do.
Yeah.
Alluring euphony, that kind of thing. And then 2 noble phantasms. Harp, which is her scythe. And...
Caress of the
Medusa. Yeah.
So, as far as her skills go,
This is fucking with me, because Kaibale is the name of one of the flings of Zeus.
So, yes, that's not specifically a Medusa thing, though.
Yeah.
That's just a Fate lore thing with, the mystic eyes.
I figured, because I kept seeing it all over.
I'd have to look at what that myth specifically was out, because I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know that one off the top of my head, but that's, the highest degree of mystic eye you can get.
Okay.
So, once again, she uses Harp as her weapon. But her Noble Phantasm Caress of the Medusa here This noble phantasm, when she uses it, just grants Medusa all the abilities she would have had in the future, meaning her mystic eyes temporarily become the strongest versions of themselves, and she uses them along with her heightened physical abilities to launch an attack on her opponents.
Okay.
Also, just a quick side note here. Earlier I mentioned that I'm pretty sure the mystic eyes were part of Medusa, like, just from the beginning, and she just lost control of them. That's kind of strengthened as a theory here, because she's never seen wearing Breaker Gorgon or any form of mystic eye killer yet. She doesn't accidentally transform people into stone ever.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, we can go and look at her noble phantasm if you want.
Oh, we're almost done with the...
我がを掘りましたの
Ooh, kill the dragon. Well, I mean, don't kill the dragon. I like dragons.
It's a wyvern.
It's a draconid.
I don't know, you seem to have a bone to pick with wyverns whenever I run them.
That's just because you give me so many good draconid killers.
これで
Like Siegfried. And the other one.
その指はその髪はそのささやきは甘く
Fingers of iron, hair like a cage, whispers that become.
これが私
Cool.
So next, it's time, the one you've been waiting for,
The one I've seen,
the Gorgon.
technically. Yeah.
So this one definitely gets into a little bit more of a snakiness. It's a little hard to tell in her artwork, but her hair does a lot more snake stuff. You see some of it there.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm here for. Hot snake lady. You know what I mean? Hot snake lady.
This is about Medusa as close as you can get.
Oh, love this. I'm gonna be honest, though, with the wings, she kind of reminds me of a harpy, not a gorgon.
A little bit, but if you go back to the Gorgon Wikipedia page, I believe it even mentions that sometimes the Gorgons were depicted with wings.
Okay.
That's just one of those, not all
this.
depictions will have it.
Love this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm here for, Knick Knack.
I figured you've been waiting for this.
This is
Look,
what
they even
I'm
come
here
out of her
for.
hair here.
Yeah. They come out of her hair in all of them.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Just different. There's more hair. Not even more hair. There's just more stuff added. This is what I'm here for, Knick Knack.
So I guess I should
This is it.
I should keep going with the fake Medusa story. Because obviously, as time goes on, eventually you hit the point where by her own autonomy or by Goblin No, she becomes the Gorgon.
Yup.
And eventually retreats to that island. When she becomes the full Gorgon, she's much more bloodthirsty and monstrous. Like, she just straight up loses her humanity after a while. And no one visits the Gorgon's island anymore. This was an overtime thing, though, so she and her sisters did for a while stay just on the island, alone, as with her as a monster. Her sisters could have left her at any point, but they ultimately stayed because they relied on their sister's protection. But when Medusa was fully gone, like she was just the full Gorgon, they decided that it wasn't worth leaving without their sister protecting them. And so they offered themselves up to be consumed by the Gorgon, presumably increasing her power at least slightly. When the Gorgon saw her own image in Perseus's mirror, she had her noble phantasm Breaker Gorgon reflected back at her.
Yeah.
And just before she lost her head, she was able to see her sisters one last time.
Oh. Okay, so I've got some relationships up if we're good to move on to that.
Yeah.
So, Medusa. Medusa, a nostalgic name. She seems just a little lighter than me. Maybe I should eat a bit less. No, honey, you're perfect the way you are. What a strange feeling. The more I look at them, the more I feel that I once had dwells within me, as though like that of a human. Okay. Steno Uriale, what kind of sadist are you to bring my older sisters near me? How dare you make me run, swine? Don't forget this, master. Okay. Enkidu. That is Kingu. Oh, no it's not. I see. Oh, well, it's not something I've experienced. I've already forgotten that fleeting dream. Both that and I had once seen a transient dream. No worries need to be said. Kets. So that is the snake with wings. She has the potential to be an Avenger. So why is she so cheerful? All in all, she's pretty mysterious, unknown, incompatible. Angramayu, Edmond Dantes, Jeanne d'Arc, Alter.
Other Avengers.
Yep. Haha, interesting. This lot stayed as human, even as they estranged themselves from being human. Has seen Lobo, feeding. You need not such, I suppose. You are the one who procured your own spoils. Perseus. She doesn't recognize him as the Perseus who had fought the Gorgon, but instinctively harbors unpleasant feelings and anger towards him who holds a portion of her corpse turned into a noble phantasm. Yeah. That makes sense. So I've seen half of Babylonia, so don't go over Babylonia for me, because I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna be finishing it this month.
I mean, I guess that's the best time to say it.
Yeah.
You might have noticed that we're slow, like a lot of the servants we've been doing within the last 6 months have been Babylonia servants. Like, a lot of them, like, Ushi was not unintentional.
Yeah, that was not originally planned.
So
Leonidas.
We've really been making a concerted effort to get Sekhie to react to all of the Babylonia servants before we go back and have her finish Babylonia.
Yeah, because I am going to go finish Babylonia, and I feel like we are at the point now, though, that I think no servants will be spoiled for me if I were to go continue watching. Beyond ones that were already spoiled in the first 12 episodes I saw. Yeah. Because I've seen the first 12 episodes. So obviously I've already seen Gilgamesh. I've already seen Enkidu. I had already seen Ushi, even though I actually didn't even remember what Ushi looked like.
I mean, now you
remember that? But you remember, like, we started on that video and I was like, where have I seen this person? I don't know them. Or Leonidas. But yeah, I think we're at the point where I can go back and watch it finally. Okay, so class skills. Avenger, alright. Oblivion Correction. Self-replenishment, monstrous strength, demonic mutation. Okay, so hero or god transformed into a demon. Mystic eyes. Kaibele. Scream of fear, a roar that arouses another's instinctive awe as a living being. Actually, to bring that up. I saw this earlier, right? In many stories, Euryale is noted for her bellowing cries, particularly at the tale of Medusa's death and her howls that could make stone crumble to sand.
I wonder if that was sourced at all.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. So she's got Pandemonium Ketis. So that's from Keto, the last vestiges of the goddess.
Before I explain that one, she has Breaker Gorgon as well. It's the same thing, except she uses it more offensively than Medusa does, as opposed to just being used to seal her mystic eyes.
Yeah.
But for Pandemonium Cetus, Gorgon renounces the last of her humanity, and she unleashed an even more powerful version of the Blood Fort Andromeda that will instantly upmelt all humans within the area and can act as a really powerful attack against divine and inorganic targets.
Yep. Are we heading down to forms and alternate versions?
You're welcome to, but that's just like in Babylonia, she took on the Tiamat role for a bit. She got big.
Yep.
But anything further I say on that's Babylonia spoilers.
Okay. Alright, can I close this?
Yep.
And I go to here?
Yep.
1000 Mystic Eyes release. Interesting. Okay. I think this is my favorite version of her.
I couldn't tell.
Look, she's hot, Knack. What am I supposed to do other than take a drink?
If only that were alcohol.
Absolutely not. I'm on enough J12 that it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Well, let's be real here. It's not the Dommy Mommy design. It's the fact that it's a monster.
Yeah. It's definitely the snake prince. I mean, it's a little bit of everything.
I mean,
but like,
the massive tits and the tall design are just,
that's just
icing on the cupcake.
Tentacles, too. Well, not tentacles, but I mean, it looked like a, massive. I like the way that they all move kind of independently. I'm a fan.
Thought you would be.
Alright. So, we're apparently back again. This is like the 4th time this year that we've had to do post-recording updates. You're right, we kind of are cursed. The comments are right. We're cursed.
Yeah, people probably saw this. People thought we were going to go back and do Kali and Durga. No, that video was done and out by then.
No. Kali and Durga came out, 2 days before I had the video up?
Yeah.
That was not happening.
This, though, we're getting to this, the week before this goes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've been informed that we have a new form of Medusa.
Yeah.
Not Steno, not Uriel, not Gorgon. A new form of Medusa, and that it isn't a summer.
No.
I've also been informed that we may not have all the info yet about this character, so we may still have to revisit them in a later video for lore reasons.
Yeah, we're missing, like, you're not seeing credits. You're only going to see sprites and maybe a portrait.
Okay. All right. So, new Medusa.
So this new Medusa is Medusa Saber.
I see that.
This is Medusa Saber.
Oh, I love her.
I love the outfit.
She's so cute.
Vorn also has given his double thumbs up approval.
Vorn loves this as well. I love this. This is adorable. This is like schoolgirl fantasy. You know what this reminds me of? Koyanskaya, but like schoolgirl.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I think Vorn would like Koyanskaya.
I don't know if I'd say schoolgirls. Most of I'm seeing like traveling millennial or older Zoomer.
I think for me it's this particular outfit with the collar and that particular type of tie and then the dress and the pleated skirt reminds me of like those like cute schoolgirl outfits you can get for like from like kawaii or dark fantasy like Harajuku stores and stuff. They always label it as like cute schoolgirl or like cute whatever the thing is.
And then moving over here just to see the sprites.
Oh. There's another art. Oh, I like this one.
So what's going on with this Medusa here?
This reminds me of Space Ishtar.
So this is not quite normal Medusa. Besides the fact that she's now a Saber class servant.
Yeah. Holding a lance. Love that. I know it's a sword, but it looks like a lance.
A little bit. What's going on here is...
Behold the glory of sword and shield. Little throwback to Joe Cat's jokes, because we watch Joe Cat.
So technically, this could have gone on the updates video as another thing we've done rather recently.
Oh. Is this a Valkyrie?
No. Basically, Medusa's either... I don't know for sure, because I haven't read this chapter yet. To my understanding, Medusa's either using the power of or is currently being possessed by Athena.
Oh, so it could have gone in the Greek gods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That explains the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. That explains it.
So, I don't know all the story details. We'll probably revisit this on updates. But yeah, that's what's going on here. As far as abilities that we know she has, you can scroll down there. You can probably see her skills on the other screen too. But yeah, she still has her mystic eyes, and she can actually summon...
I love seeing her skills and abilities.
Yeah, just not quite.
Yeah. So she does have the iconic mystic eyes and is able to summon the children of Echidna, like Cerberus. And then we've seen a version of Chrysaor, right?
Maybe.
I feel like I've heard that name before. I don't know.
And then if you want to see her personal skills, they might say it here.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Breaker Gorgon.
Remember that one.
Demonic Blood Vessels and Factor Predation. War Goddess. Yep. That would be it.
So while we don't have the fully playable servant yet, we can see the animations because she is usable as an NPC.
Oh, fancy. Oh, I see that Kali recommendation on the top of our list over there. We're not watching that today. No. Oh, goodness. She has a little farmer outfit for her NPC art.
So that's not her NPC art. That's Sakura.
Oh, well, that's a cute Sakura. That's maybe my favorite Sakura so far. And I don't like Sakura, so, you know.
She hasn't really been a character in anything you've watched.
I know. Thank God. Maybe if she was, I'd like her more. You know. I also see Bima fighting Gil. Oh, okay. I was like, are we just white screening for a hot minute? That very much looks like one of those fairy tale magic circles. But I see the whole channeling the goddess of war. Yeah.
And yeah, that is Saber Medusa. We can keep watching her if you want, but yeah.
Chrysaor, isn't... That's the name of the thing that was born from her blood on the... Yeah. That's why I recognize the name. Just so you know, Vorn, when Medusa was killed, like her blood on the island created like a thing called Chrysaor or something, and it was like a monstrous entity in mythology. Yeah. I like her. I mean, I suppose I'll look to see if there's anything down here, but I don't expect there to be anything.
Placeholder, 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 placeholder.
Yep.
Nothing.
Nothing. So even less than when we did that new Bathory.
Yeah, no. This is, we'll be coming back to this one eventually.
Yeah.
Let me add to my list now.
Start with Steno?
Sure. Some of these are going to be shared between Steno and Urale, so keep that in
Okay,
mind.
that's fine. Of note... Hey, and I do recognize this art design. So I think the artist who did this also did Estrella. I think, and Sekhie, at least for the baseball. Like the eyes have the same shape and way of coloring. I'm not going to go look it up because I did that during that episode, but yeah. Okay.
See the unnamed Greek heroes.
Yeah. They kind of look like Leonidas's Spartans.
A little bit, yeah.
I'll be honest. But that's fine. All right, others. Oh, she has a...
Trading figure.
Yep. Cute. Wouldn't get it, but it's cute. That's sweet. I know this will be a CE, but normally with the CEs, they'll like cut it like that, and I won't actually get to see this chunk, so I feel okay seeing it there. All right. I'm going to open all these, and then if I come across anything in the following ones that...
We'll just
skip them. All right. Snake chocolate with love. See, this is adorable with glasses. Look at it. It's so cute. Valentine's chocolate from Steno. Yes, I have made this with all the love in my heart. Of course it's a lie. Is there a problem? Rude, but that's super fucking cute. Look at it. I'd eat that.
I wouldn't. Might be poisoned.
I don't care. Glitter of the Goddess. Servant, hero, I'm surprised that I became such a thing. It's a strange feeling. All sorts of things are taking shape. You don't get it? Gaze upon my hand. This is my radiance, the glow of a goddess materializing. Don't look for too long, else you'll be blinded. Okay.
That is much older than they are normally.
Yep. All three forms. On the high mountain lies a lotus cave, and within the cave lie beautiful yet terrifying sisters. Golden Horn wields a noble phantasm stolen from the vaults of heaven. Silver Horn is the master of the three mountains, Sumeru, Eme, and Tai. Bronze Horn is just being made to tag along. Once you set foot on this mountain, there is no escape from the sisters. Oh, you can see the color. Gold, silver, bronze.
Yep, I'm pretty sure it's probably some sort of old Japanese tale.
Yeah. All right. Miss Sailor in white uniform. Oh, that's adorable. Look at that. I think that's regular Medusa, and those are the two sisters in the back.
Very different art style.
I like it, though.
Mm-hmm.
The sound of a steam whistle echoes throughout. Even with many majestic ships docked at port, these girls steal the spotlight. Are they used to life at sea, you ask? We're originally from a small remote island, so we're used to the scent of salt in the sea winds. The sisters from a faraway land say with a smile. I think, is it Steno? Steno? No. Uriale's name literally means far roaming in the Greek, which is pretty interesting. All right. Twin Star Divas. That's both of them. Yep. Cute.
Doing the twin thing.
We shall sing, to you who walks out into the twilight. We shall sing, to you who welcomes daybreak. Our song and voice shall guide you, so you will neither stray nor waver from your path. Let us sing, let us sing, let us sing, for there are sure to be wonderful encounters. Why, of course, that something wonderful is for me, you know? Okay. Golden Prairie. Oh, that's pretty. The golden grains of rice send one into a deep reverie, though the thoughts of peaceful, calm, and bountiful days, and the image of a goddess who enjoys her afternoon naps. I'm a fan. Okay. Yep. Same artist. Yep. You know what? If Estrella was done in the same art style as this, maybe there's like a Greek servant team.
Maybe.
Like specifically. Because that's 3 in a row now. Alright. Icons. Sprites. There's the bow. Expression sheets. Okay. Craft essences. Oh! She also
has a trading figure.
Collect them all, friends. Alright. That's the same one. The same one. Okay, different. Okay. Only 3. Glitter of the Goddess. So here's the bow. That's why I said it's fundamentally impossible. Do you understand? I'm a goddess who was born to be loved, just as Athena and Ares were born to fight. Someone like me was born to be desired, loved, and stolen by men. I couldn't possibly fight. But now that I've become a servant and an archer at that, I even got a noble phantasm. And look, a bow and arrow. A bow and arrow of love. That's Cupid's, isn't it? Even I know that. You don't have to tell me, Medusa. Still, it can't be helped. Since this is the hand we're dealt, I'll draw my bow as much as I can. I'll do all that I can for you, master. Yay! Formal dress. It's a little casual, but okay. It's very Hawaiian luau, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, second anniversary. I think I just got used to a lot of the characters being decked out in like suits and stuff. Like Western wear or like specifically Eastern wear. This is Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there she is. That almost looks like Elmaloy, but I don't think it is. I know it's not. I clicked out of it.
I'm sure you can guess some of the people there and recognize
I wasn't
some
trying. Because they are called phantoms and monsters on a daily basis, Halloween is the one time they can come out and shine. It's okay if kids cry because their costumes are, in all honesty, a bit beyond the pale. The goddess's grace is given equally to all. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell who those people are.
Well, the person in the back you've seen in an anime.
This one?
Yeah.
Is that Mephi?
That's Castor from Fate Zero.
Knick-knack. There's so much clown makeup on that bitch. I could not. Jesus. The red eyes on black make me think that this is like... Is this someone I've seen?
No, but there's a more obvious tell there, but we'll go ahead and ignore that.
Is it the horns?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Nope. Medusa! Oh, we're gonna have so many for Medusa. Oh, different art style. Yep.
Yep.
From her sisters.
She was also not immortal, so not
Yeah.
on the Greek god team.
Oh, God! That's terrible. There's Bellerophon. Okay. Others? Hey, you really could collect them all.
Get all three sisters.
Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Just kind of looking. Alright, craft it. Okay. Skipping ones that we've already seen, but that is not many in comparison. Oh, thank God. Remember when we did Cathpalug? And it was literally all of them?
No, we didn't do all of them on Cathplug. We were just like, nope, we're just going to look at some of the funny ones.
Okay, so Japanese dress maid outfit with the glasses on. Gura Gura poster girl. Causality is disrupted and greedy plots are hatched. In this dimension, it's inconceivable that a servant would work in a modern cafe. So this must be someone's plot. To solve this mystery, we set out upon the road. Next time, lazy flowers bloom in the streets of Tokyo.
So I didn't mention it, but Medusa's often unwillingly dragged into Gura Gura events.
Okay, good to know.
Same as you.
Fuck you. Chocolate. It's not much, but please accept this gift. I get the feeling that you're always catching me in a humiliating moment, but one must always want to engage in love or battle in style, right? Okay. Whatever you say, dear. Shapeless island. I do like this. This is really nice. Like, ancient ruined temple with, you know, like that looks like a Spartan and you've got like a bunch of other stuff around. That does look really cool. After suffering persecution, the three sisters escaped to this island. On the tiny island, there was only the ruins of a temple and the sound of crashing waves. There was no bountiful forest, loving animals, or florid offerings. Yet their lives were filled with tranquility. As long as the sisters could live a peaceful life together, as long as the youngest could live for the sake of her two older sisters, there was no greater blessing, even if it, as a dream, shall be lost one day. That's sweet. Oh, good. She's right there. Thank God. As if we had to hunt for that shit. I mean, after the merry hunt the Hassan led us on.
At this point, we know everyone in there. This should be the last time that ever shows up.
I don't know this person.
Oh, no, you don't? We will see this one more time.
We'll see this again for this person. Yeah. Yeah, I know everyone else. Because that's Jackie down there, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, then yeah. Belle of Society. Okay.
I assume you like that one?
It is inspired. I am a fan. I am a fan of this. As the light of the ball was about to be extinguished, she finally arrives. Lustrous hair, lips pouted like a bud, and pale skin that is almost translucent. She is like a painting come to life. She may be foreign in our country, but she is a fully bloomed flower that stands silently, proudly. While everyone else holds their breath, a young seaweed-haired man who cannot read the room shouts, "Don't you think she's too tall? She's totally not my type." What was the fate of the young man? The other gentlemen who attended the ball all had satisfied looks on their faces and never spoke of the situation ever again. Murder.
Fucking Jason.
Murder is what happened. Murder of the most foul. I'd be down, though. DTF. Call me. Fucking... Shinji. Trace of dreams. Her smirks as he opened up the false attendant's writings, as if showing off his power, which is far beyond himself. Bound, she is silent. The power within her can no longer be unleashed. What a waste. What a fucking waste.
That is Sakura and Medea's costume.
Oh. Oh, yeah, you are right. I didn't think Sakura had boobs that big.
Did you never notice them?
Nope. Because I don't like her. The youngest of the Gorgon sisters in Greek mythology, unlike her sisters who came into existence, perfect goddesses, she aged like a human. And finally, to protect their small happiness on that lonely island, she became a monster. By the way, her two sisters walk all over her. Well, she's just in the background here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this because I assume we're coming back to this for another servant.
Yeah.
This guy. Is that Ku? That's Ku. That's Cass Ku.
Yep. We haven't seen this one, so this has to be newer.
Oh, 2022, 5th anniversary. A burning city, the Grand Order, the long journey in search of a Holy Grail. Everything begins here. O Celtic mage, the transient druid, may you be a guide to all masters. Epic. That's some good ass art. Not that these have like bad, like there are some with worse art, but like that is very detailed, you know? It's more realistic. Do I know?
No, not at the moment.
Cool. Okay. To counter the opponent's moves, one must anticipate what comes next, but then the opponent tries to read even further. I feel like this is about the other servant.
So this is probably more about Medusa, actually, because this is to tie in with Heaven's Feel 3. That other servant is not a Heaven's Feel 3 servant. That is the FGO little tie-in character.
But then the opponent tries to read even further ahead. Then I must predict the future the instant after even that. Faster, faster, faster than the wind itself, so that I can prove that I am the fastest of all. Okay. An army marches on its stomach.
You know one of them.
Cutie.
You know Medusa.
I know Medusa.
You're good.
Two sweet flowers sit silently on a remote mountainside. The hustle and bustle of the turbulent world does not reach here, and only the softly babbling brook and rustling trees can be heard. The pounding of a war drum is inelegant. The only sound that ought to be heard is the smacking of one's lips in delight. I mean, to be fair, that looks delicious. 10 out of 10. Seed of the Briar. Oh, there's just... Okay.
Another Heaven's Feel tie-in, except that one's all Heaven's Feel characters.
They wanted to save, they wanted to be saved. They thought they should be saved. This wish was made, even knowing it could only be granted by the sacrifice of many lives, the shedding of many tears. Depressing. Those eyes let none get away. Look at the little pipe and the camera and the keep out tape. It's a Sherlock episode. Obscure, unexpectedly difficult, mystifying. No matter how the criminals tried to blend into the dark, once those eyes shine, they would be sewn into that place. However, I must warn you again and again, if you were to carelessly take a peek at her eyes, it will be your end, for whether you are a criminal or not, you are now a prisoner of her beauty. Everything down from your limbs to the tip of your tongue will feel like they have been turned to stone. I approve. Also, I see that Argyle print in the corner of her tights. Result of the soil. Oh, it's a pottery class.
You've done that.
What the fuck is that? That is... It's a Nobu.
That is a Nobu.
It's a Nobu with the demon crown. It's a fucking Nobu. Jesus. Yes, I have done the pottery thing. I'm not particularly good at pottery, though. Kneading and turning, turning and kneading, whittle down the soil with your own hands and give it a new form. If you consider your works your children, then this is the same as creating a new life. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm too impatient to let everything dry like it should. That's my biggest problem with ceramics. I feel like I can do more than I can, and then I fuck it up. Okay, Medusa Lancer. Oh my goodness.
It's a mascot!
I love her. I love her. She actually has a team name, and I can't read it. But it's written across both the shirt and the thing. But it's a snake.
Look, her bat's
it's
a little scythe.
Snake.
Her bat's a scythe.
Oh god, it is. Can you imagine hitting a baseball with the scythe side of that? That would be a problem. You should not do that. Oh, she doesn't have a... Just to see the full image before we see it in... Oh, thank God. Alright. Impossible tomorrow. Oh, that's the dress of one of her sisters. Okay. I was born into this world. Yes, I was different from my sisters from the moment I was born. My sisters are true goddesses. Unlike living beings, they were perfect and complete from the moment they were given form. But I was born like a human, as a living being that would grow and change with time. But there was a time when I thought that I might mature into a form worthy of being with my sisters. I thought the day would come when I could wear the same clothes, look the same, and act as if I were a goddess. Please go ahead and laugh if you like. It was a silly little mistake. No, honey. No, it wasn't.
That wasn't her sister's dress. That's hers.
It's her dress. It's what would have been her dress. There's nothing wrong with you, darling. You are perfect. What did I say about clearing notifications?
Oh, look, it's after 9. That's the notification was for, too. Oh, dear God, you've got a weapon.
Did you not notice I've started keeping a sword here? Also, look at her version of the chocolate snake. It's a little baby hatching from an egg. Look at those big wide eyes. Fucking weebs. Oh, I made a mistake. Snake eggs are shaped differently from bird eggs. How careless of me. Either way, they're chocolate, so please feel free to eat them. They're sweet, I believe. I'd eat it. That's so precious. Alright. Oh, heroic spirit formal dress. That's pretty. I like that. This is what I expect from second anniversary, I'm gonna be honest. Yay!
Anime tie-in art.
Hey, I have him now.
Yep.
You can't see him because he's way up there, but he'll be on a video.
So you recognize everyone here at this point, right?
Let's see. Kath Palug-ish. You know what I mean. Merlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his face?
Roman.
Yeah. Mash. Da Vinci. Casgill? Yeah. Main character, obviously. Enkidu. Gorgon. I'm just calling them all Gorgon. Arash. No, Ishtar. That's Bitchtar.
Don't disgrace Aresh's name.
Where's
like
Arash?
That. Not there.
Oh, yeah. There's Kath Palug, though, properly.
Yep.
Yeah. The Security Organization for the Preservation of Humanity, Chaldea, continues to fight to restore the history of mankind following its incineration. The seventh singularity recently discovered proves to located in... that's got to be proves to be located in ancient Mesopotamia in the year 2655 BC. A fateful age when humanity and the gods parted ways. Master Ritsuka, Fujimaru, and demi-servant Mash Kairylite have raced through 6 previous singularities. Yeah, this is just about Babylonia. Okay.
So a recap episode in the form of artwork.
Ooh! Look at that. Therapeutic spa. The relaxation facility, a place where exhausted warriors assemble to recover. Any resentment felt during the day dissolves in the hot water, and the hand that combs through their hair reminds them of their days far ahead and beyond. By the way, why would you, of all people, be the one combing my hair? Are you trying to see how best to cut through my neck? No, I simply could not stand to let your hair run wild any longer. How in the world were you raised to become a crude, domineering, and indolent person you have become today? Honestly, this is unbelievable. You should do your entire life over again. This doesn't seem to be the right time to point out that the saying about misfortune falling onto all. Oof. Alright. This is the recent... Oh!
そうだ。いつか姉様たちと。
You know, my sisters and I should come here together one day. Under the same sky in this our world. I really love these. Gorgon! My favorite. Yes!
I told you Gorgon's class, right?
No.
Avenger.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Holy shit, look at all the bats.
That is a danger batter.
I would not want to be the person, the people catching, you know? Because she's got one in this hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 bats here.
You only need one bat for balls, the rest are for people.
Yeah, that's the one. That's it.
Looks like she was also censored by China.
Oh. Hang on. Okay. Oh. I see what happened. It's here.
They moved the bra inward more. Like the bra bigger.
Yeah. On all 3 of them. Basically, you don't get under boob. The bra comes a little further over.
Robbed.
Yeah.
The Chinese were robbed.
I don't know. It's not that bad. You can imagine. Imagination. Knick-knack. That's the same. Oh, both of those were the same one. So there's only 2 new ones. Chrysaor. Ooh, look at that.
It's got a knife.
Where? This?
That's a knife, right?
No, that's a staircase.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But there she is, evolving in the middle. Chrysaor. The monster was slain by the hero. The terrible Gorgon took many lives in its wrath, but in the end it was defeated. Its body was put to many uses by gods and men. Fatal poisons and elixirs to raise the dead were made from its blood vessels. The blood that fell upon the desert turned to poisonous stakes. Its head became a weapon of unmatched power. The great hero Heracles said its hair could cause an army to rout if it was held up 3 times. It's said that generations later, Iskander the conquering king would add an image of the Gorgon's head as an emblem to his own portrait. The monster's corpse granted unmatched power and was used as a symbol for generations to come. But what of the 2 mystics that were born from the blood of the wound afflicted by the hero Perseus? The Pegasus, the Chrysaor. Were they the gifts from the god of the sea, as the legend says, or perhaps were they the last remnants of an emotion of a monster that did not want others making use of its corpse? That's pretty fucking sad. Egg Choco.
Duplicates.
That's not what snake's eggs are shaped like. What are you talking about? They're not meant to be snake's eggs. They're just sweet confections. The shape is meaningless. Those were definitely supposed to be eggs.
So yeah, that is all of the Gorgons.
Not altogether unexpected.
I mean, it's not like you haven't seen
all of them, basically.
You went in knowing they'd be purple-haired.
Yeah. And I knew that the Euryale and Steno were small and baby.
Yeah.
I knew that, so. This is really the only one I wasn't super familiar with.
Because you'd only seen like 1 episode of her in Babylonia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm a fan. So do you have a hint for the next episode? Do you even remember what the next episode is?
Oh, I remember what the next one is.
Is it the opponent of our beloved Sun King?
If you're talking about the right person, they're not opponents, they're actually friends. The Sun King was told to go make friends by Nitocris, met the servant we're doing next, and then the 2 ended up becoming best buds, and everyone was like...
And then they played poker!
And then everyone was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have told the Sun King to go make friends.
Then they played poker. If we're talking about the same servant, then